Okay, so hi everybody. I'm presuming I'm on live. I'm on my phone, so I can't always see everything, but it gives me a huge honor to come on to the amazing MVP Sarah Law's Nation and do a call for you guys tonight. I have 30 minutes to share with you an insight really into I had any subject I wanted to do, so I called my training leading from the front, but it's much deeper than that. It's leading yourself, and that for all of us is a stretch. So great, thank you Lisa for that, and I can see Sarah Law's or lots of likes. Great, so I better introduce myself. So my name is Fiona McCarthy. I'm an Arbonne independent consultant and an executive national vice president with Arbonne. I can see, hey Sarah, hey Lucy. See, this is awful because it's so lovely to be on live and then everybody says hi and you just write yourself. But I've been in Arbonne since day one. So back in November 2007 and joined day one, and I think most people know I have the oldest ID number, still active, shall I say, which is 00000032. So started in the day when there was no social media, there was no Facebook or Fakebook, or, you know, it was just really, and Sarah will vouch for this, we were just told, get on with it. And that's exactly what we did. I'm going to move that down a bit. So, you know, we just had this no matter what attitude, and there's really three things that is important in your, you know, really in success, in not just in your Arbonne business but in life, and I'll break that down. So the three main things is to have a vision. You have to know where you're going. You may not know how you're going to get there, and that's the fun. The adventure is in finding out, but you certainly know that it's worth its weight, you know. And I, you know, ever since day one, when I remember joining Arbonne, I knew, I had no, you know, doubt will take you out. I had no doubt I was going to make it to the top. It just was an adventure, and I just had to figure out along the way. So those stepping stones to success rather than stumbling blocks to failure. The second thing I'm going to talk about, well, is really, you know, having, you know, really being confident with your getting started, because I think a lot of people feel that, oh, thanks Lisa for those compliments. I'm getting compliments on my great colour, and you know it's all Arbonne vegan self-tan, so I love it. But if you mess up a part of your body when you put your self-tan on, people are more likely to believe you because they can see it's real. Okay, so really in knowing the process, because you've got to trust the process. You guys all joined Arbonne, you know, with an intention, okay? So that vision equals clarity, clarity equals vision. And then, you know, why did you join, you know? So really get to grips with the getting started, because the more you are comfortable, then the more you're able to like do it and help others, because it's not just about you. So really learn the system that, you know, your MVP Sarah Law has in place, and be really comfortable with that and share that with other people. Okay, and then the last one is belief, and really I'm going to put that back up. And really belief is the biggest of all, guys. You know, so many people you know, really find that they believe this business works because they can see it. They can see there's lots and lots of NVPs and ENVPs and RVPs, and, you know, they can see that the evidence is there, but do they believe it can work for them? And that's the big difference. It's getting over that. So I was very, very honored to have, I'm going to put this back down because I think that looks better. Hey, we know it's live. Okay, so I was honored to have earned the MVP Challenge Trip 2018, and I was 14 out of 15, and that was to go to France on the Challenge Trip this year with all the other leaders and their partners. And when I know Jill Bush, if you haven't listened yet to Go for the Gold, ENVP Jill Bush on fire, because she speaks, I think it's about 3 weeks ago, about that trip and the belief and what she felt being part of Group Rocher. So they're a 6-year-old company, Arbonne's 39, and you know, I can just talk from my heart here and say that, you know, when we were stood in the head office, you know, and Jacques was speaking, the son of Yves Rocher, you know, the similarities, the synergy between Peter Mork and between, you know, like, you know, his dad, you know, I mean, it's John Mork's dad, Peter, and Jacques' dad, Yves, was just like mind-blowing, you know. These men back in the day, so, you know, almost 40 years ago, you know, for Peter Mork, and 60 years ago for Yves Rocher, so similar. So Yves was told, Jacques was said, when his dad started his business, number one, why are you bothering to create products from plants? Like plant-based products. Nobody does that. It's like, why are you bothering? Okay, and we know the fact that we haven't tested animals, and you know that plastic was fantastic back 39 years ago. PETA chose a different route, a healthier route. Number two, they said, why are you going to call it after your own name, Yves Rocher? Why would you do that? That's stupid. Nobody does that, because nobody in those days did that. So that's number two. And then number three was the way he was doing the business model. And again, it was so different, that again, he was told it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Funny that, but it really did work. So I was so honored, to see what we have and where we are going. They have our back. Arbonne, if you think of a beach of sand and all those trillions of grains of sand, Arbonne is one grain of sand, and that beach is Groupe Rocher. And that is how much we have got to look forward to and our future in this company. Okay, so I love that. So you've got to trust this process. You've got to trust yourself. You've got to trust the company. You've got to believe in the products. All these things, guys, you have to be a 10 out of 10. Like literally, it's solid proof. That is, everything has to be a 10 out of 10. Because if it's not, you are lying to yourself. You're not going to be that leader to stand there and what is a leader? A leader inspires and influences. We don't manage our people. Okay, so how can you stand there with authenticity and with grit and determination and passion and joy and love if you do not have a 10 out of 10 mindset? Okay, because I promise you, if anybody's promoting, I'll say, where are you? We know this question, Eric Warwick, a 1 out of 10, you're not feeling it, it doesn't feel good, you're not very confident, or a 10 out of 10 is all in, like Debbie Neal, ENVP says, slam that back door. If somebody says that like they're a 7 out of 10, they're not promoting. They're not. They're just not. They haven't got everything in alignment. Okay, so that is where you have to be, 10 out of 10, okay? And knowing that, so having the honor to spend a lunch sat next to Jean-David, JD, he was really the one who loved the word flourish. And he was talking about this word flourish a lot, okay? And what he said that, well, I looked this up. So the definition of the word flourish in the Cambridge English Dictionary means if you do something with a flourish, you do it with one big noticeable movement. Let me just say that again. If you do flourish, so if you do something with a flourish, you do it with one big noticeable movement. Oh my God, guys, can you feel that? One big noticeable. Okay, that you better make sure that you've all seen that latest flourish video, and get that out. The brand awareness, the manifesto video that's just been launched. It sends shivers down my spine. Like literally, I want to share it with every single body, and I have, because it just shows who we are and what we stand for. So really get in contact with this, okay? Right, so I want you to write this down on, pen, paper, training here. So until my Arbonne one thing is done, everything else is a distraction. Okay, so write that down. So until my one Arbonne thing is done, everything else is a distraction. Okay, because it is. Like I said before, you all joined with a purpose, and and I know that all the MVPs resolved 10 out of 10 to make a success of it. So I need to ask yourself, what is your mindset? Because we're going to move on to belief in a minute, okay? So again, write this down for me. In order to accomplish something, you must be willing to do whatever it takes, okay? So in order to accomplish something, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. And put that, I had on my diary for years and years until that one thing is done. Like I said before, until my Arbonne one thing is done, everything else is a distraction. And also, in order to accomplish something, you must be willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish it. So what are you willing to do? Because that's a big, big question. Okay, so I'm going to go on to belief, right? So what are we telling ourselves? Because that word belief has got a lie in the middle of that word, L-I-E. So are you being truthful or are you lying to yourself? What is your wiring? You know, what is your blueprint? Because we've been shaped. We have no idea actually how much we've been shaped previously to starting an Arbonne business. And if you're feeling in a place now where you are not growing, okay, when somebody says to me, I'm stuck, I'm like, no. There's no such a word as stuck in your business. You're growing or you're dying, okay? It's one or the other. And Buddha, you know, there's a quote that says there's only one thing that, you know, and that is constant, and that's change. So let's start changing and shifting and moving that belief. If it's not serving you, then you've got to start changing the inner voice, okay? The self-talk, because I promise you, unless you work on this mindset, you will not achieve nation, no matter how hard you work. And I know about grafting. Sarah was like, she is like the biggest grafter. You know, she was up there year after year, GTC, earning an award, you know, always there leading from the front, okay? And I totally respect Sarah for her work ethic, okay? But I tell you what, if she didn't have the right mindset, she would not be an MVP in Arbonne. And that's why you've got to work on this area with everything you have, because it is what will take you from where you are to where you want to go. So I'm just going to say, we all know that we're thinking 60,000. Oh, thank you, Sarah. So 60,000 thoughts a day, guys, right? 60,000 thoughts a day is coming through. We can't stop thinking from the minute you wake to the minute you go to sleep. And in fact, the only time you can stop thinking is when you laugh or you meditate. All right. And that's why laughing is like, everybody, you know, it's such a medicine. So did you know, this is incredible, that the human brain is wired that 75% is negative, dominated negative. Okay. So I'm just going to read a little quote here because it just blew my mind, you know. So the programming that each of us has received was the wrong kind. That as much as 75% or more of everything that is recorded and stored in our subconscious minds is counterproductive and works against us. So in short, we are programmed not to succeed. I mean, have you ever heard that before? Like I genuinely was like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I you know, I didn't falter my belief. So I was very, you know, I had positive affirmations, but, you know, inside of me, I had to work on who I was, like everything that was going to get me to ENVP and beyond. And I always said, when you get to Nation and Arbonne, I felt like you'd have a degree in human psychology in the University of Life. Like I say, you don't need an IQ in Arbonne, you need an ICANN, okay? So it's the lessons that you learn. And so when you really think about that, you know, 97% of the thoughts we're thinking today are the same as yesterday and the same as the week before and the year before and 10 years before, unless you've done what? Personal development. So there is a reason leaders are readers, right? Because can you believe that you are thinking, this head of hair is really annoying me now, I'm going like, but you're thinking the same thoughts day in, day out. 97% of what you thought yesterday, you're thinking today. Like seriously. So you need to get a grip. You need to change. And I'm just going to read you about, again, this was just so like fascinating to me, about reading motivation and why it doesn't work, okay, if it's not internal, if it's external. So because the motivation, okay, so if it comes to you from the outside, it's temporary. Okay, so who goes back to GTC every year, to AAC, and they've not grown to the next level of leadership? And what is the frustration about? You know, you really are feeling like, you know, why? You're looking at everybody else, and I know you shouldn't compare, you know, curiosity didn't kill the cat comparison, but you feel like, you know, I'm doing everything. If you're into, you know, the activity, why have I not progressed? Okay, so that is huge, guys. You know, why? Okay, so let me just say why. Okay, I'm gonna put hold on, I'm just gonna put my computer on, because if I don't know the time, because I'm on my phone right now, and I'm just gonna realize I can rattle on, hold on a minute, till after 8:30, and I've only got 30 minutes. Okay, so all right, so all of our external motivation works the same way. Keep giving us the motivation, and we will do better. Okay, this is why people peak after AAC and GTC. Take it away, and we will move mentally back to where we were before the motivation began. So you may have progressed or grown or achieved something in the process, but we did it with someone else's energy, and it wasn't our own. Okay, so qualifying volume, QV, equals qualifying vibration, your energy. Okay, but you know what? You have to bring it to you have to bring it to the party, so to speak. So that is why so many people who go to GTC get pumped up, like seriously full of energy. You come out ready to conquer the world. You buy the books of the people speaking on stage. What happens is they stop, you know, weeks, days, or even hours after the event is over. And the inspiration that they felt so strongly during the message is no longer there. The energy enthusiasm has gone. So what's happened is they've left GTC, and so has that outside motivation left. So that's because their program's still the same. Okay, so the motivation is for talking to a room filled with old computer programs, your subconscious paradigms, which is what really 70% of what you're doing is controlled by. Okay, this is since you were born. This is everything to this day is in this. It's almost like if you imagine you have a computer. So that computer, you've got your keyboard, you've got your screen, and you've got your CD, okay, the floppy disk. So basically the screen is your outside world, the way you present yourself, okay? The keyboard is the programming, the input, okay? So it's what you're saying to yourself, what other people are saying to yourself. They're literally programming you. And the CD, the floppy disk, is what's going in, and that becomes your set program, okay? That's what you're doing. So whether you start to override it with a conscious coming up motivated thought from the outside, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then all of a sudden, weeks later, you're back to the person you were before you went to that GTC conference, it's because of your programming and your self-talk. Okay, let me just do an example for you, because this is really, really important. So if you've been saying things like, let's get a bit of paper, make sure I'm not actually, there we go. Okay, so if you have been saying, you know, I can't sponsor, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not good enough, or I don't know what I'm doing, or whatever is going on there, okay, you're going to draw lines. So let's say somebody, okay, so in Auburn, and they're like, I just, you know, have a problem with my team staying, okay? So they're thinking this, and then somebody joins the team and leaves. Somebody joins the team and leaves. Somebody joins the team and leaves. They're growing, let's say every line is a tree in their forest. Somebody joins the team and leaves, okay? So this is going on, okay? There we go. Then they need to change that mindset to, what do we do, guys? We do affirmations, because your subconscious doesn't know if it's real or not. It doesn't have a sense of humor, and it doesn't know if it's good or bad for you. Okay, so all of a sudden you get somebody to join your team, and they're like, they are flying, okay? So that would be a Danny Wells in my team. So there she is, right? But you've been doing the self-talk for so long that you've grown a forest of trees on that same thought process. So now what happens is, your memory, your floppy disk in your computer, when you give it a new idea, it has to connect it to something from the past for it to make sense, to accept it, okay? A new idea, it has to rationalize it. So it will not accept just this new idea, like just that one. Look, I have a forest going on here, so you could just give me one here. Like, I need to attach it, because only by understanding it from past experiences, from your memories, your mind will then accept this new idea and make it its own. But it's going to challenge it. And a lot of time it's going to Oh my, I've just seen Ella's comment. That's hilarious. Yeah, I know. What a great book, guys. If you haven't read this, I'm going to talk to you about this at the end. But so what you're going to do, a lot of these new ideas, you're going to reject the new ideas because you've had so many of these ideas going on, the same old self-talk, that anything new, it's like, it's not embedded. Okay, it's like grooves in a record. So you have to keep going, and eventually you're going to build up the belief system. You're not going to lie to yourself that actually you're able to sponsor people who want to do this business alongside with you and who are going to also sponsor their team, and you're now building up this growth here. Okay, so come away from there. But that's going to take time, okay? It's repetition is the mother to all learning. Repetition, again, TOPA, repeat. But also, too many people are overthinking. Okay, stop thinking so much, all right? I want you know, the Western world is all about being hands-on. Don't get me wrong, you have to do activity to achieve those results. But you know what? I want you to stop thinking. I want you to stop for a while to be so much hands-on. I want you to be gut on. I want you to be feeling on. I want you to be energy on. Because when you connect with the qualifying vibration, you're going to bring everything to you. You're like a magnet, okay? So we have a law of polarity, law of attraction, and we all know Rhonda Byrne, right? So what are we doing? We're receiving and broadcasting and giving all at the same time. So you know what we're doing? We're putting it out there, and all of a sudden, if you see, what happens is people, we talk about attitude of gratitude, but people are here. Let's say you right now on this call, you're AM and you want to go RVP, okay? So this is you here. And so we work on being really happy here and really grateful for where we are and excited for where we're going. But a lot of time there is a division, there's a gap there. So we're like, okay, so I can only feel I can only feel like a VP when I become one. No, wrong way round. You have to become one to deserve it, to get it. Okay, so the universe is like a waiter. All right, so it can't talk to you in words, by the way, but it can give you signs. The universe will communicate with you in signs, okay? That's why that AM wants to go VP. We'll see white Mercedes all the time because the universe is showing up, right? Let's say you wanted to fall pregnant and, you know, and next thing you just notice pregnant people all the time, right? Or you wanted to fall in love and then you see all these people holding hands. I so hope you're not thinking, oh, that's not fair. Look at them, you know what? Look at them like cuddling and I want to have that and I'm not in love and I'm alone. Wrong way round because the universe is showing you it's coming. Get your gut on, guys. Get your vibration to the place you need to be to receive. Okay, the more you are going, oh, it's, you know, doing the whole thing, you're pushing it away. So seeing it is believing it. And I'm not just talking on the outside, the physical world. The universe will give us signs, but the inner is where it's at. Okay, 100%, okay? Be who you want to become, right? Be Griffiths, right? Listen, guys, okay, you have to be you. Everybody else is already taken. There's only one of you. So leading from the front, my title is about who are you? Okay, who are you? Like, get your iron arbon written out. They're coming back in all the, you know, the postage and packaging. They're incredible. Read at least, you know, an iron arbon a day. Okay, write your iron arbon. There's your belief statement right there. There's your mission statement. Okay, and I decided right from the beginning there was two things that I was going to lead from the front as a leader that was so important to me. And number one, I was going to achieve everything that came my way. Okay, every AIT, you know, like, you know, every DN bonus. So when I promoted to district manager, so no, okay, so I was the first UK district manager in November 2007. My upline was in the States, so I wasn't like with Sarah and all these guys that were growing, like really growing. You know, they were really flourishing. Okay, that wasn't really my journey. So I was a team of one for 2 years, 2 months as a district manager. You know, I never lost my district, but I worked super hard. I knew that people, I knew I didn't really get it, if that makes sense, but I didn't know what else to do. So I thought, if I just do what I know what to do, I'm going to achieve what I need to do. I'll work it out along the way. So what happened was, when I went area manager in March 2010, I was a team of one. Okay, I had over 450 preferred clients, but I was a team of one. So because of that, as a new area manager, I had to DM bonus. Like, it wasn't like even a thought process for me. So I have never, ever missed my DM bonus since March 2010. Ever. Okay, and I expect my leaders to DM bonus. My VPs in our nation, standing in mine, my expectation is you are all bonusing. You're leading from the front. Like, how dare you not show your team what's possible? Okay, we all achieve AIT always. You know, that my VPs, that is, you know, and my direct areas, all DM bonus, you know, and yes, AMVP, but it's the DM bonus. You and you. People don't realize AIT, they think it's earned because, oh, if you're VP, whatever, MVP, you've got a big team, so you're bound to earn it. It's nothing to do with the team you have. It's the team you create. You know, why are we entrepreneurs? The definition of entrepreneur is creating something from nothing. So guys, what are you creating? What's your belief system? What is your passion? You know, what is your qualifying vibration? Are you a 10 out of 10, or are you just showing up as a 5 out of 10? Like, why would you deny that glory? Why would you not, you know, flourish like Jean David? Like, you know, what Group Brochet want us to do, what they're giving us, this future. You know, they're here to help us. Come on, guys. You know, you want a successful business. We talk about it, but you know what? Get back to this bit going on here, because, you know, unfortunately, you know, if your self-talk is poor and if you haven't gone in and changed that floppy disk, then guess what? It's going to keep showing up in your life. So start working. Now, this is a great book. It's quite a heavy book, by the way. So, this training has been inspired by this book, and I always believe there's no such thing as coincidence. So, I can't read it backwards. What to say? Can't read. What to say when you talk to yourself? Shard Helm's letter, and you know, again, it's about that will really change your outside world. Will you reflect your inner world? So. You know what? It's not, you want to be successful in this business. You want to be that leader up there. You want to be in the $1 Million Club, whatever that is for you. Earn £1 million. It's not even about the £1 million. It's about the person you become in the process to earn the £1 million. Okay? It's the person. So your outside world will start changing to reflect your inner world. Isn't that awesome that, you know, an acorn can only be an oak tree, you know, but can I just say, in nature, you want your life, you know, you want to copy like Mother Nature and all of that. But to me, there is one thing that, you know, we have the honor of choice. As a human being, we have the freedom and the honor of choice. So like I said, an acorn can only be an oak tree, a puppy can be a dog. As a human being, we can choose to show up in this world and to be who we want to be. So who do you show up as? Who do you want to be? What kind of leader do you want to leave your legacy? And by the way, leaving a legacy, you don't have to be dead to leave a legacy, guys. You know, you do it when you're alive. Like, so where are we going? Okay, it doesn't matter about where you've come from, and that shaped you to this point, but the present is the gift, and we get to change today to shape our lives tomorrow and the next day and the next day. But 97% thoughts will be the same as yesterday if you're not doing this. And I mean scribbling, highlighting, you know what, studying, and then you know, people go, oh yeah, I've read this book in 10 bits. If you are not making that book then forget it. You haven't changed that inner stuff. Okay, so I know, you know, when I was a regent, so I'm on bang on half 8, so I'm just going to wrap up. You know, so I was a regent, so I was a District 4 manager for 2 years, 2 months, area manager for 3 years, 3 months, and then I think it was 5 years, 3 months as a regent, and then went nation. And when I was a regent, I read one book for a year and a half, just one book, okay? And I became that book. And I decided that I was going to read one chapter. So month 1, I started chapter 1. Every single day, I read a chapter, and then I listened to the audio of Bob Proctor and Mary Morrissey talking about the book. And then day 2 of month 1, I read chapter 1. And then day 3, I did it for that month. Then month 2, I read chapter 2 every day, chapter 2. And then I also listened to the audio to talk about chapter 2. And then chapter 3, month 3. And I became the book. It changed my internal language. It changed my internal belief system. It changed my internal thoughts. It changed me to be the leader I am, sat in front of you on a live right here, right now, to share my words of wisdom with you guys. It came from me making that change, hungry. Like I said, it's not about the IQ, it's the I can. Hungry to give value, to increase my value to the world. Guys, you do not get paid on your time. Okay, you do not get paid on your time. That's why you do so much for so little at the start. What you get paid on is your value, showing up in the world. And the harder it is to replace you, guess what, guys? The more valuable you become, the more money you will earn, the more lives you have touched, directly or indirectly. That's how it works in Arbonne. You know, I absolutely love this business. I'm gonna die with an Arbonne flower thing on my coffin. Like, I am all in, and I've been since day 1. My gut, I went with the gut. I didn't go with the thinking. I'm sure if anybody had thought about it, what was the book? I was waiting for that. Good job, Candy. I was waiting for you to ask the book. Right, let me see if I can find it. And then I'm out of time. Like, it's la 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 la. I'm just thinking. Okay. This is my book, all battered, all bruised. Look at it, bless his heart. It's like completely, I've got like everything. It is called Working with the Law by Raymond Hollywell. And I sent this to Sarah. I think we were at, I think we were at Danny Coppolaro's car presentation, Sarah. And I sent her the recordings of this book, because we know about the law of attraction. That's one law in the universe. There's another 11 laws, guys, and most people just know about one, but there's another 11. That was it. So I'm done. I'm late. I'm 3 minutes over. How very unprofessional of me. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure to be asked to share this training with you guys. For Sarah, thank you so much. Sarah is my inspiration. She is a beautiful soul inside and out. Everything she does, don't you think she does 10 out of 10? Like, literally. And that's why she's successful. She doesn't play at life. You know, she makes it, she works at it and creates it and becomes it and is it. Okay, and so are you. So, Ella, Sarah, oh my gosh, everybody, all my friends, I see you as my friends, like I know some of you so well, and it's so nice to share this call with all of you guys. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Irene and Laura, and I could just sit here all night. Thank you, everybody, because you guys are so sweet. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Lots of love. Bye.